YouTube, Down to Bricks here, bringing you a city update I've been wanting to bring you for quite some time. So the waterfall's complete. I've finished the mountain work from one side of the waterfall all the way down to the tunnel. That's all done. The lights are all ready to go. So we're going to have a look at the waterfall all lit up today. Now you've had a sneak peek of what I've done, but we're going to jump back now and have a quick look at the process, and then we'll take a closer look at the city. I know what modular is going to go here, so now I need to marry up from the side of the waterfall back to this mountain ridge. Now so far I've been climbing up on the table and building this rock work here, and it's a little bit uncomfortable, so I want to come up with a plan where I can fill in this section, but I can do it from the comfort of my build table. Okay, so I've come up with this contraption right here. Now I'm going to put it in place and it'll make a little bit more sense. So you can see that covers up some of those plates, and that's just to get different height to the terrain, so I can just have a little bit more detail along that strip there. But I've put some bricks and burps in place just to mark out where the rock work needs to be, and that's going to come up here and then come back and eventually join back up to there. Now I've got a bit of work to do to marry those two together. I'm going to have to fix that end up on that ridge there. But the idea is, once we slide the hotel, the cafe corner back into place, I know where the modular will cover up that rock work. So I know now where I need to add more detail and less detail just to save on pieces, and how I need to shape this section around so it joins from this side across over the top to that side, and I can actually do it from my Lego table. Now I'm going to add another feature into this section here up alongside this rock work, where I want to put in another tree. So after a healthy build session one night, I finally dragged myself off to bed. It was after midnight on a school night, and I just couldn't switch my mind off from thinking. I was thinking about Lego, I was thinking about the city, and I was thinking about, well, maybe I should build a tree out of the rock work. And there's nothing new to what I've done before with trees growing out of the mountainside, but because I'm using the grey rock work, I thought about, what if I built a tree but had the roots coming up and kind of like veins through the rock work? And I was thinking, how can I do this? Anyway, I wanted to give it a crack. So I just want to share this with you, and this is what I've come up with so far. And I think that's looking pretty good. Now, still a long way to go. I just wanted to share this with you, see what you think. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish it all off, so the next time you see this, it's going to be complete. And here is the tree all complete, all its branches and foliage, and I absolutely love this tree. I'm really torn to which is my favourite tree now, this one or that one down there. But yeah, so there's all the modulars in. Now I will be swapping some modulars out. I'm probably going to put the police station there, and I'm going to change things around a little bit with the modulars. But let's take a look at this waterfall. So, whew, stud city. Actually, maybe that's what I should call the city. Have a look at all those studs. So I'm really stoked with how this has all turned out. I think the waterfall is as good as I can get it, I reckon. right from the river and the rapids right down. Now some people suggested that they thought it was a little bit too straight on the sides, and you know, it probably is. I think it's more the how the waterfall has washed out the rockwork over time. I have built it out a little bit more on the edges, on the sides of the waterfall there, just to sort of take away some of that rockwork, like the sharp edges. But yeah, it to sort of have rockwork jagged out, you know, and water splashing over them, very hard to do with the design that I'd sort of come up with. But yeah, I'm really stoked with how this has all turned out. Certainly a nice feature in the city. So what's next? Well, as you can see, this waterwork's not finished. The river section here, not complete. I've got ideas for this side of the city. I'm pretty firm on what I'm doing here, and what that's going to incorporate is I've put a lot of this in just to hide the top of the rockwork, but this is probably going to change up a bit and probably going to have more of a boardwalk here, and I'm going to have steps coming down. I'm going to have a little shallow area, not real big, just a bit of a shallow area where people can come down to, that have some steps coming down, maybe some people fishing. So I need to work out how I'm going to fit everything I want to do here in before I can incorporate that. So I just have to hold off a little bit. I've got to get one thing that I want to put in here, I've got to get it built first. So bit to do there. Then I'm going to put in a pedestrian bridge over this steel bar here to cover that up, and then I've got to build a new bridge for the train. So I want something a bit more substantial than what I've got now, and then I can finish the rockwork down the sides, tile it all off, and everything will be honky-dory. So that's probably going to be the next thing that I focus on. So just taking a bit more of a look from a different angle. Up on top here, I've got to get in and do the pathway. So that's maybe, that might be the very next thing I do. I'm not too sure. I want to get in and tile all this off. I've got an idea, I think I've mentioned before, for the railing I want to use along here, which is a little bit unique. So I might get in and try and get that done, and that will sort of really finish that section off, to have the railing pathway and have it all tiled. As for the bottom section of the city here, still not exactly sure how I'm going to do it, what I'm going to do for roads or whatever. I'm actually thinking of just making this a pedestrian part of the city, so maybe just some tiled off cobblestone pathways or something along the front. Not too sure. I'm going to have a look at the new roads and see what they look like in there, but I've got to play around with these modulars a little bit, because these are, like, this one's on plates and these are on base plates. The assembly squares on plates, so it gives me an option to raise them a little if I want to, or just to have them up a little bit now. So if I have a cobblestone road work here, it actually meets up to this a little bit better. It's a little bit higher than having just base plates. So yeah, still have to work out all that, but definitely loving how this is coming together now. Slowly but surely. I know some people had their doubts in the beginning, and maybe you still do, but I hope you do appreciate what's gone into this. There's a hell of a lot of work, a lot of bricks, a lot of money, but really just to showcase the modulars is the idea of this setup, and just to have a more natural scene for the city. And I think that's about it. Well, maybe one more thing. Let's light up this waterfall. Okay folks, the lights are on. Man, I'm absolutely loving that. How cool does that look? Now it is really hard to capture on film. Let me turn the contrast down a little bit. That might help showcase it a little better. But they're just cascading lights in behind there. I think we might have a little bit of a look at night. So before we have a look in the pitch black, I've just turned the room lights off now in the daylight here. So it's pretty dark out in the Lego room. Just get a better look at those lights. It's really nice how it reflects off the tiles. Well guys, it's taken a long time to get here, but the waterfall is complete. I'd love to know what you think, so please bell it down in the comments below. Not sure when the next update's going to be. I'll keep rocking on. I'll get it out as soon as I possibly can. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. If you love your Wild West Lego, check out what I've been doing in the Western town if you've missed that. But a big thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.